good afternoon. Welcome to the channel. What's your name? My name's Jason Sebastian. It's good to see you. Glad we're still here. We're making it through 2021. Pandemic, COVID. Excuse me while I tie up my hair. I'm gonna see if this works. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I guess I'm testing how far the headset can pick up. I need to test out all the audio equipment because it's one thing to know if it's like on, but then you have to play back all the audio and soften the feed. I like tying my hair up, but then also I feel like this headset. Um, Without my other headband, I realized that it's not adjustable, and it's like, yeah, that's not, yeah. So, thanks for joining us. If this is your first time, wear a mask. I want to go outside. Everyone wants to go outside. Just wear a mask. Just do it. I didn't brush my hair today. I just use my fingers to comb out the knots lately. What do you guys do? Do you have like a favorite brush? I was a little heavy with the eyeliner. I used to only do the top lid, and then I decided to do the bottom lid just for the video, and I'm like, oh man, that was really heavy. But now that I'm looking at myself, I feel like if I hadn't said anything, it's not as obvious because it just looks like I have really dark eyelashes. So, lights, camera, action. How's your makeup? Do you like my nails? I show them off. Ooh, with the mandala still on the back of the hand. Everything else is pretty much washed off. So that's Sharpie tattoo marker. Really good for if you wanna, you know, write something you want to remember on yourself without it being toxic. So what are we going to do in this video? I'm going to tell you in the beginning. We're 2 minutes in, so that's not too bad. Usually I tell you guys what we're doing at like 45 minutes in. We usually do the same thing. So painting our face to start out. This is like my lesson plan that I used to do with the kids, except now I'm making videos for you guys, really for me, but for you guys. I get the most out of the playback. Drink green tea, it's good for your health. Do you like how clean this space is? I have to tickle my nose. Pat the weave, pat the weave. I can't mess up any makeup, but this is why I don't wear makeup. I'm just like blah, 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 touching myself. So, ooh, that side is cleaner. There's a walkway. For anyone who lives with a hoarder or around a hoarder, which isn't me, this is all valuable stuff that can't be thrown away. Just kidding. Just throw it away. We've got cans. That's gonna be for the greenhouse. An old game chair that's too valuable to be thrown away. My ukulele that's gonna have to be played. The bed in the corner. We've got the acupuncture mat, like the acupressure mat, I mean. So we've got that. Actually, light can be thrown away. Oh, you can't even see it. I put our tree in the wet in. Oh, do I want to get up? Yeah, I'll do it. So if it's in line, I just have to back up a little bit. Our mascot is going to be in the video. We planted them together several weeks ago, remember? Thank you for staying with me if you haven't left already. That is 100 Acre, our willow tree bonsai, who is the first of many, 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 because willows are really easy to work with. And there is one in my park, and it's one of my favorite trees since childhood. And there's been a lot of hurricanes and a lot of trees have fallen over, so it's just like a good time in life to plant trees. So we're learning how to do that, cuttings and rootings. Um, I want to stick to the video and not get distracted, but you guys have to hear little updates. Hashtag do you like trees? Humans and trees are very together. It's important. Everyone should have a tree companion, like, for life. You don't have to. I'm just kidding. Trees fall over all the time. But yeah, it's nice. There's many. If you want one, let me know. Come pick one up because uh, caring for trees is a joy, as is for anything. Care for yourself. Drink green tea. It's good for your health. I did play back in the video, and I always watch what I post. And I noticed something I do is this. Every time I like finish a thought, so I will try to not do that. And try not to scratch so much because being on camera makes you itchy. Look at my nails, aren't they pretty? There's a learning curve, boys. How about you show me yourself painting your nails and without it, like, mm, it's a skill. Girls, let them know. This is our drawing pad for when we draw ourselves, but as usual, I had a couple ideas. What should I do? What should I paint on my face this time? I actually did myself up, so I'm kind of getting used to looking sort of nice. I think one of my favorite things was doing white. I like the scribble on the forehead. I really like that one. But I haven't done a side swipe yet, so I'm not wearing my glasses, so I can do that today. What if we did that in orange? Would that make me look weird? Do I want to do it in orange? Just like a little... Because if I do something stupid, it'll look stupid for the whole video, so I'm just going to go with what I want. Do 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 do. It's just like my favorite thing to do. Um, I want to do the same thing on my cheeks in pink, but that would make me look like really weird. What should I do? I like freckles. There's so many colors. It took me forever to get the light just right, because the lamp is broken and the light bulb keeps flicking off. So, enjoy what we got set up because it's an effort. Boop boo boo boop boop boo. I like doing one of them, and I didn't do it so well last time. Hmm. Hmm. This is what it means to be a designer. Um, I can just as easily cut this out of the video, but I like seeing myself work through these problems. I saw this blue. I'm just going to do one of these. Oh, whoa. I just went for it. So that is my face paint for the day. I did blue last time underneath the eyes. Maybe I'm feeling the blue. I want to do like orange and yellow, like I'm feeling like one of these things. Meow. So, oh, we're doing an unbox. We're 10 minutes in. That's not so bad. Unbox, unbox, unbox. Something came in the mail and it is very exciting. Do you know what it is? I mentioned it in the other videos. Well, did you watch them? Do you know what I'm talking about? I'll tell you after we draw our portrait because it is important. We promised ourselves and we promised you guys. What's your name? I gotta know who I'm talking to other than myself. I mean, I know I'm talking to myself, but who are you? What do you do to dress up? Do you paint eyelash? Do you have eyelashes? Are you a lipstick kind of guy, girl, them, he, she? Um, Mascara was always like, what is it? I don't like doing anything on my eyelashes. I don't even like my eyeliner. I'm very particular about that. I don't like my eyeliner getting on my eyelashes. And my whole life, females, women have asked me, and girls when I was a kid, and women and adults, everything ever since I was a kid, they asked me if I'd like do my eyelashes. I guess is it mascara? Is that the one? I don't like it. I thought girls had goopy eyelashes when they did that as a kid. I was like, I said some things and the girls got really mad at me. So I won't bring that up entirely. So what do you like? Do you dress up? Is it your clothes? Are you a shoes person? Some people like cars. I nail polishes are like gemstones for me. I just love setting them up in the colors and the color therapy. Um, Body paint is just a way to like do it up. It's like, blush, but or henna. Mm-hmm. So I already got us started. Before I even draw anything, I want to introduce this book because this is essentially a channel to teach everyone how to draw. I want to teach everyone how to do a lot of things because I'm a teacher and I want to, and teaching helps me learn. So the things that I'm interested in learning is the things that I'm focusing on teaching. So that is why, to start out the video, we were doing the face paint, which is what we like to do. Before the video, I always brush my teeth, so you don't see that, but that's also something I do because you can't have a good video if you got smelly breath and plaque. So, Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain is an amazing book. The teacher who taught me as an adolescent, because I wasn't a child, I was an adolescent at that point when I started learning. I was like 12, and I didn't really know what this book was, but the woman who was teaching me, she lived nearby, and she taught kids how to draw and paint from her basement. So shout out, her name was Janine or Joanne, one of those twos, um, which was the name of either my mom or godmother, depending. So there are many lessons in this book, but the basic gist is drawing is a skill that anyone can learn, with exceptions. Anyone can learn how to ride a bike if you have basic skills. You can learn how to drive a car if you have basic skills. You can learn how to read if you have basic skill. Reading is hard. Learning how to draw is so easy, guys. So I'm going to skip to the important part because this is where you guys have to sift out information, but I already made a little note for us. First, intro, very important. I used this book to get a job that taught kids in an after-school program. The program was originally for theater, But then when I had hired was when they were expanding, and I had gotten on as a fine arts visual designer, and they didn't really that it doesn't matter. We won't get into that. There are five basic skills of drawing, and when you get those, you can draw. Just like with riding a bike, if you can pedal and you can balance moving forwards, turning the if you can do all of that together, you can ride a bike, then it's the same thing. I want to move that down here so you can read with me. Oh, goodness. I'm going to have to fix that. That was so dumb because you can't even it's a good phone, but for some reason the camera is like, "No, I won't focus on anything smaller than a penny." Like I wanted to show you guys the really fancy prints on my fingers. They're so nice. I worked really hard to do them for you guys and myself. I look at it the most, but I love to show them off and you can't see them. Um so that's what I'm going to be buying with my stimulus check is a new camera. Save your money for I don't know, the apocalypse. Like what are we saving our money for? Do 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 do. How am I doing this? There we go. That's better. I came online just like to develop, this relationship that online people have, and the first thing I learned was how much it takes just to get yourself out there. So I want to tell everyone, just do it. You don't worry about editing, don't worry about it. Just make sure that we can hear your voice and we can see your face. And you can mostly do that with a webcam. I found this in the basement. This is like a 40-year-old headset that never got opened out of the box. So clean your basement and you might find whatever you need. You don't even need money. Just go check your basement or your grandparents' basement. A lot of the stuff back then was like made well. There are five basic skills of drawing. I'm just going to read it out because you guys can't see it. That's what I just wasted like 5 minutes doing. That's what these videos are. My first year of being online is going to be me making like I don't want to call it junk. I have like a fascination with creating small things that gather momentum. So like in a year from now, if I create a shitty video now, sorry, excuse my Greek. If I make a video now and it's not even like the best video, if if I have videos a year from now, they will resonate. So, it's saying encoding overloaded. Consider turning down video settings or using a faster encoding preset. I'm going to have to find out what that means because I stopped the video last time when it ran overtime. But it seemed like everything worked out. So, good thing I have a visual feed of the, I guess, audio mixer is what it says on top. Tech is fun. I'm learning how to type as well on typing.com. It's free and it's fun. It's like the Duolingo for learning how to type. And I'm almost 30 years old, and I've for my whole life I've only been typing with like 6 fingers. So it's so easy to learn and it's fun. Um, the muscle memory kicks in like 15 minutes. So practice every day. We'll write stories together because the whole point of learning how to type. There was a video and it was talking about like you wouldn't drive a car with bicycle wheels on it. Like learn how to use the machine correctly and you'll go further with it. And then that's what it means to use computers. So learning how to use computers, you'll go further in life. You know, if I'm homeless and I have a really good like 140 word per minute, that's probably not even that much, but I'm learning. I was like 6 before, and now I'm at like 11 words per minute. So I thought 44 was a lot. I'm trying to get through this book with you guys, but we're chilling. We're having fun. 20 minutes in, and I'm at the first sentence. I just did a wonderful introduction because now the first sentence. The global skill of drawing a perceived object, person, landscape, in parentheses, something that you see out there, requires only, I'm showing you with my nice hand, 5, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 basic component skills, no more. Can you count to 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means if you can learn how to do 5 things, you can draw. In order to type on a keyboard, there's 26 letters. If you can find out where 26 letters on a keyboard is, then that means you can do 5 things. You've got 5 fingers, 10 fingers, and 10 toes, so you can count past 5, I promise. If you can do these 5 things, that means you can learn how to draw. And anyone who can read and write can draw. Any adult who knows how to read and write should know how to read, should know how to draw. Oh my god, this spiel. Welcome to my TED Talk. This is what I'm going to say over and over. I can't get the words out of my mouth now, but by my 100th video, I will have said this like 100 times. And hopefully we will be more eloquent. So, drink green tea, it's good for your health. Dig in the makeup. I usually wash this stuff off, but I'm going to keep this one on. Also, I met this guy. He's not my spirit guide. He's just someone that I keep rendezvousing with. Like the last time I finished a book, and then I started having synchronicities with everything in the book started happening in real life, and this guy shows up out of nowhere, and he's just acting really weird. And he did the same thing today. He was like singing in the park. You can hear him from a mile away. Why am I talking about this random stranger? It's probably because he lives nearby and we're gonna be friends at some point. But we haven't spoken. We've only like nodded at each other and smiled and glanced. Even when his eyes are closed, he seems to know when I'm around. So, and I could hear him. Nah, interesting. Uh, Future relationship person. I feel like before we meet, I'll know a lot about you and you'll know a lot about me. So watch my videos. We'll have a grand old time. Comment below about what you'd like to see, or anything that you would want me to respond to, because the whole point of all of this is to not be alone. That's the whole point of all of this, is because to not be alone. Even if you are alone, I don't even think an individual person isn't even composed of an individual. Like, there's so many things inside of a person that you can like never really. Oh God, alone though. This is why I chose to live in the city and not in like a cabin, 'cause it's like I don't want. I'd rather be. Anyways, these skills are not drawing skills. So I'm really going sentence by sentence through. I'm gonna like go through this whole book sentence by sentence at some points because we have to make it so understandable. The 5 basic skills of drawing aren't even drawing skills. So you can work on them without knowing how to draw. Isn't that exciting? Like, do you want to learn how to draw? Drawing is so fun and it feels so good, and it's like the I would tell the kids like, do you know your favorite cartoon? You know, just think of your favorite cartoon and the feeling that you get from that. That is like drawing. Um, you get that from drawing. Like you receive that because it's the same wavelength as the person when they're creating it. And I wanted the kids to understand that that's what they should be experiencing on the paper, that whole, I would say, oh God, I'm using my notebook 'cause this is my fancy notebook. Do this now. We can all do it together as a warm up. We can warm up together. Do 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 do. You think I'm doing this just for views, but like this is literally I have entire notebooks, especially when I'm angry. Oh, especially when I'm angry. Um, you will rip through the paper. That's fine. Rip through the paper. That's okay. Use a marker. The only thing I don't allow with my kids is doing this with markers because obviously that ruins the tip, and the kids will tell each other. Um, tell on they will tell me, not tell on each other, but you know they'll be like, hey, don't do that to the kids who are doing it, and the kids who are doing it will like do it regardless. And I think I was also one of the kids who did that. Some people break crayons. Some kids are crayon breakers. That's okay. Not really. It's okay if you use the smaller pieces. Not okay if you just throw them out. So, yeah, that's how you loosen up. Do you want to learn the anticipation? Is it killing you yet? Do you want to learn what the 5 basic skills of drawing are? So we know it's a global skill. And that just means we'll get into like other global skills, for example, reading, driving, skiing, and walking. Drawing is made up of component skills that become integrated into a whole skill. Once you have learned the components and have integrated them, you can draw. Just as once you have learned to read, you know how to read for life. Once you have learned to walk, you know how to walk for life. I'm putting emphasis on the words because they're not in the book. You don't have to go on forever adding additional basic skills. Progress takes the form of practice, refinement of technique, and learning what to use the skills for. That like it gives me chills. I'm yelling into the microphone, but this is maybe my version of ASMR. Oh my God! So if you want to learn how to draw, you don't even need to have drawing skills. And then once you learn it, you never forget it. Even if your fingers are chopped off, you can like spit watermelon seeds onto what's sticky. I don't know. You can like use your toes and just mark up the sand. It's all drawing is all the same thing. So what are these skills? This was an exciting discovery because it meant that a person can learn to draw within a reasonably short time. And in fact, my colleagues and I now teach a 5-day seminar. 5 days is all it takes to learn how to draw, really? I know it's like she does 4 hours and it's an intensive class, fondly known as our killer class. Yeah, that's right. Which enables students to acquire the basic component skills of realistic drawing in 5 days of intense learning. So this is, I guess, the reverse of that. I don't want to do an intensive. You can do that intensive itty of yourself. Like if I'm teaching a yoga class, I'm not going to be doing like handstands and backflips just because you can do it. The whole class is going to be doing yoga. Like a Tadasana. I teach Tadasana. That's the yoga pose I want to be known for is teaching Tadasana. And these 5 basic skills of drawing, those are going to be the yoga things that I teach, I guess. So my goodness, I can't even believe it. So, drum roll. 1. The perception of edges. I'm going to go through the skills and then I'm going to do my drawing exercise and then I'm going to do the unboxing. But it doesn't really matter what we do because we're just going for an hour. You're gonna be stuck with me for an hour. You're glued. It's like Clockwork Orange. I'm doing this to you. Ah, watch my video. No, I'm just kidding. It's a beautifying channel of cleansing and inner purity. I'm kidding. Shadow work is it's not traumatizing. Like it's untraumatizing. Um, Trauma, I heard AOC say, is too much, too fast, too soon. And I know that post traumatic stress disorder is a result of trauma. And I know that people can also, so experience dependent neuroplasticity means that the experiences that you have, your brain works like a muscle and it grows in a certain direction. Um, and experiences create pathways with neurons, and the more times you experience something, it like digs a creode. So and like or the water, the pipe, it gets stronger and happens more. So negative things can cycle like that, and I think that you can have positive experiences that unwind all of that stuff. So if you have repressed trauma, that means you have to deal with it at some point. But we are learning in psychology now things like emotional lateralization, that I can basically do something over here and it'll affect something over here in your brain. So if I want to tweak your trauma without tweaking your anxiety and your pain and promote healing by dissolving it, there are certain things that we can do, such as meditation is good, drawing is a form of that, going on walks, breathing exercises, yoga, you know, taking a shower, painting your face, just coping methods. So if you were to go to the opera or the ballet and you were to experience a show that gave you goosebumps and you went home and you played it over in your head a million times and then you started dancing and it was resonating with you, um, that's like a positive thing that you can do to to heal from traumatic experiences, and that's why I'm one of the reasons why I'm so interested in working with kids and emotional lateralization. The brain is divided up. We're gonna go into this. There's so much to talk about that I'm literally. It sounds like I'm rambling, and I watch my videos because I'll have a thought and be discussing it, but it'll be part of such a larger thing that there's just like a million moving pieces. Like we can't even stick to this book. I'm done with the book because we got to the first level, which was perception of edges. There are more. 2 is the perception of spaces. 3 is the perception of relationships. 4 is the perception of lights and shadows, and 5 is the perception of the whole or the gestalt. So the fifth skill comes as a result of having the 4 skills. So you only really need to learn 4 skills, um, and you don't even need to do anything. It's a matter of the way you perceive reality, and that is a skill to have. So this is what I would teach the kids. Is I'm teaching you to see. We're training your eyeballs. Do 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 do. The better that you can, it's like we can see something and 2 people can be looking at the same thing, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are digesting that information the same way. And in my opinion, a person who has access to like the visual, spatial oriented part of their brain, which is very different from the linear linguistic part of your brain. If you have access to both of them, you have an advantage. And the trouble comes, and I've talked about this in the last video, and that's what this whole book is about, drawing on the right side of the brain. Most people are left brain oriented, and the new brain psychology, we know that that's like kind of an old way of thinking. It's not really divided up like that, but there are different ways of perceiving reality, and there are two specific ways that we're talking about here. um, and one is sequential linguistic. It's like without it we couldn't have daily life. It's important and necessary to have the ego, um, but the foundation of that is like being able to perceive the material universe. And it's just like, God, this whole book, most of the stuff I'm talking about, it's just like strung through the whole book. I'm gonna just read a couple things that are underlined. She says here, the author, my main contribution to the educational aspects of right hemisphere story, in order to gain access to the subdominant visual perceptual R mode of the brain, it is necessary to present the brain with a job that the verbal analytic L mode will turn down. So that's like the part of your brain that usually makes symbols, and it's just like you want to draw and you're just like, but all I know is like if you want to draw an eye and you're just like, all I know is the almond with the circle because I don't know how to draw, so I just like I have a symbol to draw in standing for the reality of that abstract thing. So um you need to switch processes into the other one that is more suited for drawing. Um, and if you don't know how to do that, this is what we're talking about here, giving it a job that it'll turn down. So L mode can't draw. L mode it can't. L mode sucks at drawing, and that's the mean voice that you draw something and you look at it and you're like, I don't like that drawing. It looks bad. That is the part of the brain that we're not really it's not necessary because it's not suited for this task. Once you get you feel this like frustration and boredom almost, and you need to, I don't want to say push past because it's not a struggle, but you need to like let go and just be like, okay, I'm gonna we're at 40 minutes. I'm gonna have to do a just a drawing video and then the unboxing video I'll do next. So we'll do two videos today. For most of us, L mode thinking seems easy, normal, and familiar, though perhaps not for many children and dyslexic individuals. So maybe they'll be better at drawing, who knows? The perverse R mode strategy, in contrast, may seem difficult and unfamiliar, even off the wall. It must be learned in opposition to the natural tendency of the brain to favor L mode, because in general language dominates. It makes me think of Dumbledore. He says like words are the strongest magic, and I really believe that, you know. Um, they cast spells. By learning to control this tendency for specific tasks, one gains access to powerful brain functions often obscured by language. I just got chills. I'm doing a reverse ASMR. I'm getting chills by making this video by talking about things that I'm excited about. And that's kind of the way that it works. You can't just get blah, blah, blah. That's another thing. I love brain science. I'm like a neuroscientist. I did go to school for biology, just saying. And this is why I want to teach kids before they grow up and lose access to the ability to understand what these modes are. Everyone has access to these modes, but So like everyone is creative, but some people have certain blocks, you know, and we're kind of getting past that by as a group, we are going to be drawing portraits every day. And I'm going to show you my face through the portraits that I draw, but I want to see the portraits that you draw. Drawing is an important skill to have, but as we've been talking about, the way to learn to draw isn't through drawing. It's about having perceptual skills. It's about seeing the world through the R mode, and I'm only using this because we're still developing the language to talk about these things instead of L mode. Um, so yeah. um, if I had two different tools, if I had a hammer and a fork, and I'm trying to eat my food, and I'm used to, like, and there's different tasks. Say I need to hammer a nail, I would use the hammer, and I need to eat food, I would use a fork. I wouldn't eat my food with the hammer, and I wouldn't hammer the nail with my fork. So that is what we are talking about here. When we are drawing, we need to use the right tool, and the right tool is this part of the brain that we're talking about. That and the way that we practice and we learn how to shift modes more easily is becoming familiar when we are in those states of mind. And you have to learn how to shift back and forth. And um, it's just like having a superpower. I don't know. It's just isn't that really cool to like know to have that, there's just a whole other part of yourself that you didn't know about because you were like not letting it. You got to let it do its thing, man. So if you're ever drawing, and I talk about this like in the last several times that I've drawn with you guys, like I'll start drawing and the best thing to do is to like start off in a calm, relaxed state of mind. And there are exercises talked about in this book to get us there. I'm just gonna jump in because we're already almost at 45 minutes, and I don't want to make the drawing after. We'll do a separate video of just the drawing exercises to help you get into R mode. Pure contour drawing. That's further in the book. I'm gonna finish reading. I'll do the pure contour drawing now, and then I'll get back to reading the sentences in the book. As a very, very quick example of how to switch from L mode to R mode is by giving it something useless in L mode's view, like looking at the wrinkles in your hand. L mode is like, this is stupid. I already know there are wrinkles in your hand. I don't need to, like, there are other things I need to worry about right now. So I'm going to like shift my attention elsewhere. But they're valuable. I mean, they're there. The wrinkles in your hand are there. And could you draw them? Yes. They're just little lines. Could you draw them without looking at them? Of course you could. They're just lines. You know how to draw lines. Would it look like the hand that you want it to look like? That's a whole different philosophical question. If I were to look at my hand and start drawing the lines in my hand, do 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 do, without looking at the drawing, then I'm practicing the skill of drawing by looking at the wrinkles in my hand as an example. You can do it with like the veins in a leaf, you can do it with the cracks in a rock. Look at something and draw it. Look at the edge. Maybe start with the edge. I'm gonna just skip. So pure contour drawing looks. I see it in the future, but is it earlier? Really? It's that far in the book? No way. Sorry, I'm flipping through the book off screen. They'd have like a really good split between L mode and R mode here. L mode is verbal, like using words to. L mode is verbal, analytic, symbolic, abstract, temporal, rational, digital, really, using numbers as in counting, logical, and linear. So basically, all the functions of daily life. So it makes sense. R mode, however, is nonverbal, synthetic, meaning putting things together to form wholes, actual, real, meaning relating to things as they are at the present moment, analogic, meaning seeing likeness among things, understanding metaphoric relationships, non-temporal, meaning without a sense of time, non-rational, meaning not requiring a basis of reason or facts, willingness to suspend judgment. And then other things that make more sense, spatial and intuitive, making leaps of insight often based on incomplete patterns, bunches, feelings, or visual images, and holistic, meaning seeing whole things all at once, perceiving the overall patterns and structures, often leading to diverging conclusions. These are all feelings that you have when you're experiencing the R mode. It's like the feeling of being in the flow when you're running or playing an instrument, of being lost in time, of reading a good book. So if you're interested in those feelings of being timeless, of being of having intuition and having leaps of insight and feeling holistic, of everything being complete in one piece. Um, those are all wonderful skills to develop. Um, and the way that you develop them is through non-core drawing, non contour drawing, which is what they describe here. They're like, this guy's looking at his hands, but he's facing away from the table, which he taped down his paper. He taped it to the table so it doesn't move. Or you can just draw straight on the table, or just draw straight on the wall without looking at it. Make it your own. Just draw. Um, but yeah, so then this is what it looks like in the end. It's just like a bunch of stupid squiggles that are like, they're not ugly though. They're like kind of pretty. And then they have more of them over here. So pure contour drawing. Oh wow, there's a whole bunch of them on this page. Isn't that so weird that that is the most valuable skill that you can have in your arsenal of learning how to draw is, again, pure contour drawing. It's where you're looking at the edges of things. So we've got space and then the negative space, like me, not me. The line is what separates them. But take this large wrinkle in my hand. You can see the edge of this side of my hand and then wrinkle, and then the other edge goes into the other side of my hand. And then you've got even little like tiny wrinkles in between those. So I'm talking about the smallest wrinkles that you can find, or even like the pattern of your skin. That's what we want to draw for, and set the timer for 5 minutes. I'm not going to do that with you guys because um, I would just like fast forward through that anyway. And we only have 10 minutes left in the video. Drink green tea; it's good for your health. Um, So, do I really want to sum it up? Yeah, I will. I'll sum it up really quick. Um, the global skill of drawing is really just four skills that are skills of looking at the world in the R mode. It's R mode is like I don't like using that phrase, but we haven't developed a good enough social language. So that's kind of the purpose of my videos is developing the language to talk about new things so we can learn faster. So like say perception of edges. That's the first circle. Edges. If I wanted to draw myself, I would draw the edge of myself. That's like the stick figure, I guess. The perception of spaces. Um, yes, there's an edge between me and the background, but then there's a difference between knowing that I am a space separate material from the background. Um, which I guess relationships too would be like, what's the relationship of objects to each other? Yeah, there's the material, and then there's the relationship that it has with each other. Lights and shadows, obviously, you know what that means. Like, what percentage of light is on what part of the material object. That's it. And then five is perception of the whole or gestalt, which is putting them all together. So I guess that's one of the tricky things is working on the skills and then putting them all together so that they all, when you're driving a car, you have to focus on the mirrors while you're focusing on gassing and braking and turning. Um, they have really good examples of people's transformations. I don't know, the progress. So like in 5 days, the people's drawings would go from like where's the camera? That would be before, and then that would be after. And like that's before. It looks like a child. Like I wasn't joking when I said my 8-year-old kids could draw better than their parents. Um, and then that's after 4 or 5 days of like 4 hours apiece. So 5 days of 4 hours, and then that's. But it's a whole list of like kid drawing, adult drawing, kid drawing, adult drawing, and I think that's why it's so impressive when kids can draw as well as like a, when a kid can draw well, it's astounding to adults because they like can't believe that a person could do that. But it's just evidence that like anyone can do it if they figure out how to perceive, how to look at the world a certain way. And it is a nice way of looking at the world. It's like non-judgmental. It's like when people see a beautiful rose and they start crying. It's like because that's that's the thing that we're supposed to be doing inside before we can do it over here. So, that was a fun little thing. Read the whole book. If you can't read it yourself, I'll probably work through it together, letter by letter. Like, I'm tearing this thing apart. I love this book, but this is already, is it the second edition? It's the second or the third edition. A brand new edition of the classic, expanded and updated. But I think it was updated then updated again. The 20th anniversary, like this thing is it was revolutionary when it came out, and groundbreaking, but it's just like old news to me. I want to move on to the next thing, which is teaching these skills without an intensive class, but she did that just because she could. This is for everyone together. So, what do we do when we're drawing? Let's just say I'm already good at shifting, and I don't need to do a warm up. Or let's just say I did my warm up before I started the video. I mean, I looked at my hand for a second. I'm pretty chill, so I'm ready to draw. And the more you draw, the easier it is to just to do this. But you'll know because you'll see the drawing and you'll be like, oh, well then I was. And you'll see a drawing when you weren't in that mode, and you're like, oh, there's a clear difference. Like I like those drawings and I don't like those drawings. Um, it's like falling asleep almost, though. If you set the conditions up, you can fall asleep, but you can't make yourself fall asleep. So don't try too hard. Just draw. And the more you draw, the more it'll happen. And the more it happens, the easier it'll get to do it. As usual, I'm practicing drawing 5 minutes a day, and as we all are, and the a fun thing to draw is people, anatomy, figure drawing. That's a good person to draw because they're always there around me. So I'm gonna draw, you know, here. You would start with a circle, like an oval or an egg or something. So I want my drawing to be like, yeah. I'm looking, I'm like, there's the top of my head, and I want the bottom of the head to be like there. Oh, yep. And I already got her started with a little sun, smiley face, who's radiating light because my light source is coming from this direction. Yep, that's the relationship of the light. Because without the light, there would be no image at all. Maybe there would. It would just be like a physical material image. Um, so I'm starting off with like this kind of egg shape because my head is egg. Pretending that I can see the back of the skull, and I'm kind of adding in the jawbone because I've been working on anatomy and I start to see these things. That would be where the nose. Do, 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 do. Whoa! I've been practicing my anatomy and I just like. Drawing is kind of a combination of the knowledge that you have with what's coming in now. So I'm using the visual information of the way I look now, and I'm laying it over the knowledge of the anatomy that I've been practicing. Um, it just helps you get the shapes better, you know. So the eyes are like in the middle of the face, so that's why I drew like a divider line, and I'm kind of doing the other divider like kind of here-ish, because I'm not against measuring with like my. You can do that if you're struggling, but I don't know. I'm just doing it kind of in my own mind right now. Just drawing kind of what I see. I forgot to even put the timer. Let's go 5 minutes from now. It's at almost it's basically 58, 57, 58, 58, 58, 59. I've got 1 minute. Just kidding. We're just gonna do a quick drawing of ourselves because um, that's kind of the 2021 thing that we're doing. Okay, so here's my eyes, and now let's just do a little thing. There's my eyes, and here's my eyebrows, and here is like that side of my face, and that would be kind of my nose area. Can you hear me? That is my stash, which is somehow both angled and straight. I'm still kind of learning how to. Oh, I like when I smile. It's so funny when you draw yourself because you'll zone out, um, and you'll act like a statue as you draw yourself, and then all of a sudden you'll like move, and that part of your brain that wasn't paying attention is like, oh shit, what's going on? Yeah, I'm just doing like quick little marks to kind of get a feeling of where everything is. I'm still like a bald guy right now, so maybe if I'm happy with the placement, you can barely see what I'm doing because it's so light. I went too fast with the other drawings and I wasn't happy with some of the marks that I made before I committed to the drawing. Drawing's a weird balance because you can draw it really light and be happy with it, and then when you're ready to go in and darken it up, you'll mess up and you're like, how did that happen? It was so good. Um, I have to be wary of making the features too large. I'll make the eyes too big and too far apart, so. I think I kind of got a vague feeling like of a head and shoulders and a nose and mouth and eyes. If I were to turn it upside down, it still looks humanoid. Like if you were to turn it upside down, you can recognize a human who's upside down. Um, Pretty easily. The brain is recognized to recognize the face in all sorts of positions, but it also kind of it just makes it easy to catch mistakes. You know, if something's out of line and you're not sure because you're just for whatever reason, give it a try. Also, maybe look at it from further away. That actually is a really good way to if you feel like you're just too close to the drawing to see mistakes that you're making, which is a common sensation. So I just talked all that time. I'm gonna try to match myself up to the drawing. Okay, I was just basically talking to you guys like this. Um, yeah. Draw yourself. Just get like a little hand mirror. Do 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 do. I'm gonna start going in darker, but I feel like I just lost the sense of what I was doing. Ba 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 ba. If you're not sure, just keep going, but don't commit to anything. Like don't just start drawing in lines because you might upset yourself. I feel like I got everything mostly in place, so I'm just kind of working out like how to make it more real. I don't really know how to. The drawing already exists. You just gotta put it there. Um, like I'm looking at this image and I want to take it and put it here and hold it there. Like imagine that I'm holding that still shot that I had and I'm holding it there in possibly 3 dimensions. Once you get the shadow work, like it'll pop out on the page, and you can literally just like block it in real quick. So that's what they have in the book. It's called a viewfinder, and it's a plexiglass, but just something clear. And they'll like divide it up into four quarters and have like a little window frame. And they're like, okay, so look at that, whatever you're doing, and then take a dry erase marker and draw the image that you're looking at, literally in that two-dimensional frame, you know? And then take that frame, the framework of the drawing, you've got the lines. The book will teach you like, okay, so now I just did the mouth thing that I talk about. You can put it up to a window or a light box, but you use tracing paper and you trace it, and then um, through a process, you literally take the image that you're looking at and you copy it, and then you get it onto the paper. And people think, oh, that's cheating. No, it's not. It's literally what artists are doing when they're drawing. It's just that they're doing it without the plexiglass medium. But if you're learning how to ride a bike, you can use training wheels. If you're learning how to bowl, you can use bumpers. If you want to draw a picture, do it. Like if you want to draw a picture of yourself and you've got the time and you like want it to look good, do it. Use the plexiglass and the tracing paper. Whoa, I've got my whole dynamic changed with my hand up like that. How old are your college lectures? I mean, not how old. How long are your college lectures? Because I remember going to school for like hours and hours and hours every single day. Now just listen to these people talk, and I'm like, can I just fast forward through the part that's not interesting to me? I don't like my eye placements. I'm just kind of, I need to loosen up. I'm starting to unloosen. I'm like, I gotta loosen up. It's hard to talk and do this at the same time. I keep like losing where I am in the drawing, and I'm gonna try to learn how to do both. Usually I've got a little thing in the back of my head, but that's not there right now. The better you can see yourself in your mind's eye, the easier it'll be to draw yourself, but don't get caught up in drawing what you see in your mind because you're drawing what you see right in front of you. Bum, 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 bum. I'm like, you, huh? What is this? Maybe it was more like this. Yeah, I'm struggling because I keep moving. Like stupid. Should I just start over? Um, the last couple of times mm. I'm going back and forth between like new things that I'm doing and old things that I'm doing. Um, I'm like, let me just really quickly see if I can get into the flow because I feel like I was getting more into talking than I was into the flow of my own. Also, the way you hold your pencil has like a really big deal. If you're holding it really tight, your drawings probably won't go anywhere. anytime soon. Um, if you hold it loose, like you'll see I'm not really using my fingers when I draw. I'm using more of my wrist. Is like my wrist. I'm not using my wrist. It's like I'm looking just anything that I see that I want to put down. This goes. Where's my other eye? I have to put that in right now. You don't have to put everything in your drawing. Um, you only have to put in what's important. So, what's important? Bum, 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 bum. My eyebrows are important. My eyes are important. Like my eyelashes, but I'm gonna get those at the end. Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. My nose always goes out to here in the other pictures. And I'm like, I just noticed. That does look better, but it's mixed in with the old mistake. So I'm like, sometimes you just have to leave the mistake that you made and go on with the picture, and it won't be that big of a deal. But if you make a mistake and then you make a correction on top of it and you're happy with the correction, but you try to undo the mistake, you can, in the process, undo your correction, and that stinks because sometimes if you were to have just left it alone, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal. Dun, 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 dun. Oh man, I don't even. So I'm starting to feel like, let's see, so that's where that is. And that's where this is. And that's where this is. And that's where this is. Let's see, my ear is like up here, which kind of matches up with that. It's like a puzzle, you know. It's not like everything is well, I'm dancing around, but it's more about progress. I know I'm not drawing the best picture, but again, oh, that did help a little bit. I remember there being a dark spot over here. It's like you remember the things that you need to look out for, like little just shadows. Say like this shadow under your nose is just like kind of gets into what I was saying before about picking and choosing what information is important because ain't nobody got time to sit down for an hour and draw. Just kidding. Like if you do, you could probably come up with something really good. I guess I feel like if I could create a drawing, like a sketch in 5 minutes and be like really happy with that drawing, um, then the next time I would want to draw a drawing for like 10 minutes and come up with something as good as I could in that time, but like through the process of having a 5 minute drawing that you build on. So, yeah, if you go too quickly, you could just have an hour long drawing that's a pile of poop. Turning it upside down because I want my chin to be longer. Where does it look good? Should it stop like here? Should it stop here? Yeah, I'm going down to like almost there. Um It's like I know my lips are going from like under this ear, I mean eye, and they go down to like here. I just made it way too dark, so I have to make everything around it darker. This thing's in the way, but it is there. And then a little weird thing under my chin. Okay. So I think I'm kind of happy with that. Happier than I was yesterday. For some reason this spot like really messed me up. I'm just hatching my hair in because I don't feel like sitting around all day drawing in my hair. Do 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 do. And drawing is essentially just blocking in the dark spots, and depending on your method, um, not blocking in the white spots or drawing in the white spots with something white. But I am not doing that right now. This looks like a lazy eye. What is up with it? Why am I like so lazy on this side? For some reason my other eye over here just like never wants to look good. Yet. That is not a good. I mean, hey, it's just the beginning. We're still working. I'm like tired of working with the headphone. Let's make it white instead of black. Same thing with this thing. Um, because making the black grape like ruined my drawing last time, so let's just do it like this because it'll be easier to see. As long as the edges are defined, that was the thing, that's like the word of the day. Um, so my hair, I keep moving my hair around. Do 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 do, but it's also dark, and then I've got do 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 my shirt with some wrinkles. My shoulder keeps moving. I'm just gonna do a little bit of a shadowing in my shirt so that you can. Oops, I did my arm as well. That is not to be blunt, horse face. I see the images of myself that I draw, and I'm like, I thought you were a good artist. It's just all over the place. Boop boo boo boop boop boo, and just oh my god, I went way too dark with that line. So this is what we talked about yesterday. You can be working on a drawing for too long and just not be happy with it. So another thing I would do is sometimes just, just like freehand it. I mean, I'm just like, what if I were to just put myself out there and no 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 no. Oh man, that was a bad one. Be free, but don't be too free. We're at almost an hour and a half. But I was reading a book to you guys. That's like not fair. I am a teacher who wants to get better at drawing. I lost it. I'm totally. That's what you can do with your notebooks, though. We might as well go on to an hour and a half because last time was like almost an hour and a half. just to calm down. I just wanted to do a drawing today. So I feel like I wasn't doing as good of a job drawing those as I really wanted to. So I'm just gonna try again really quick, but I feel like everything I do now. No, it's okay. Hold on. Let's not give up. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, it's because I keep drawing that before I draw this, and that's where I usually start. Bum, 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 bum. This isn't obviously going to look like me, but it is going to be fresher of a drawing than the other one was. But that's another thing I used to do is just like draw like 10 faces at once. So maybe that's what today is coming out into. That's my eye, that's my nose, that's where my nose goes there. You always like, well, where is this and where is that? And what would that feel like this? And how about if I put that there? That looks good. If that doesn't look good, then I'll just keep going I'll try that. It's just easier to add than it is to take away. Ooh, that's what was going on. My other eye was like way, way lower. So that's why it's easier to make corrections like before you get too far. Like you can be drawing and something can be in the wrong spot, and instead of giving up, you just draw it again in the right spot, you know? Yeah, my lips are going from the middle of my nose all the way past my eye, basically, which is nuts. Because up until now, I've been stopping like at the tip of my nose, but judging by the measuring I did, I was like completely off. But it looks like I did too much. This whole thing is like dark, and this whole thing is like, where's my skull, mister? Yeah, that was a different style of drawing that I just did there. Yeah, just start, everybody. It's gotta be like, I need an eraser, because this is extraneous. I'm seeing like a whole thing going on over here. It's like seeing it more like that almost. And this is literally what drawing is, guys. You're just like, okay. Yeah, I can do that. I'm not really happy, but I put the work in. I'm not happy with the drawings, but I put the work in. So I guess that's the best thing that I can say about today. Other exercises you can do are like drawing your hands. You can like look at your hand and draw that. I'd start out with like a circle. Here's my thumb. I'm like, could I even do this? I'm like, here's one of those guys, and that's. I'm already in the mode. Like, I know that I'm in the drawing mode, so I want to take advantage of that and draw something, but drawing myself wasn't the best to continue with, so I do have a little experience practicing with my hands, and I just wanted to see what it felt like to give it a go, see how that went. And then that's a shadow there, and that's a shadow there. This comes down. Dun, 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 dun. That comes down like that. Oop, whoop, 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 whoop. That was just super quick, doing the edges, because we were practicing edges and perception of edges. Gotta name and date it. JSJ, at least initial, with my little signature butterfly smiley face. 1/15/2021. I don't even have to say how long. I mean, do I have to say how long each one was? Couple minute. Those maybe I'll erase, but you know. This, oh Lord. You can do the background and stuff, but I don't feel If I were to do a background, would that make it pop more? I'm just taking a little example. Yeah, it makes it pop. You know, you can experiment with things because I'm just like, what would I want to draw on this? I'll draw like a little fishy. Hello, little fishy, and here's like a little butterfly. I like drawing pickles, so we'll get a little pickle in there. Art is fun, and it teaches you a lot about the way that the way that your brain works. Very important because we are always doing our thing as humans. I can't believe that it's halfway through January. I'm really excited for Biden to be doing something. I feel like the government hasn't done anything other than kick us while we're down for like a very long time. And for someone to be talking about like doing things with the resources that we give them in a positive way is like so weird to not have to worry about like a scandal every single day. So, I can't wait. We did a whole bunch of ugly drawings, but it was really about practicing the jump, and I was struggling because I was talking and focusing on the time and we're being logical and everything, but you need to just let all that go into wild abandon. We're going for non-logical, we're going for non-linear, we're going for, none of that. Just do this. So, you want to say goodbye? Goodbye. It was fun seeing you guys. I'll see you never. He'll still be part of the book. You gotta start somewhere. Even art teachers can sometimes not be. Do I want to like show you my notebook? Yeah, I'll show you a couple of extra things. I've got some ideas of what I want to do with the willow trees. I've been practicing anatomy, so going backwards. So I just drew. This is my newest stuff, but I've been learning about the spinal cord. So we've got C1 through C7, which is cervical. T1 through T12, which is thoracic, and L1 through L5, which is lumbar, and the sacrum. And we've got a rib cage here, and that's the middle of the rib cage. Side view, bones, backbone. Now we're getting into earlier the week. I kind of liked that one, but that's what happens. You forget they're there. But hey, I didn't wear glasses. Is it better? Is it worse? I mean, do they all look like me? No. But at the same time, when you put them all together, do they all look like me? Yeah, that's all the same. That's all drawings of the same person, and that's at least a good sensation to have. Um, yeah, I need to get back into the anatomy. At the end of the chapter, it talks about like the muscles in your jaw and your neck. See, just because you don't like every single drawing doesn't mean you won't ever have a drawing that you like. So just gotta keep going. Just keep drawing. This is just the notebook that I'm probably not gonna flip through it anymore. I'm done flipping through it, but soon we will have a lot of notebooks full of a lot of good stuff. We will be able to separate notebooks of just good stuff and notebooks of just writing whatever you want. Boop 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 boo. What do you want me to do in these videos, everybody? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Still gonna clean. Oh, I'm gonna do the unboxing video next before I clean my room because I got something really fun for while I clean the room. Do you like my scrunchie? 2001. Some people are saying are some things. I'm saying it's the year of the scrunchie for me. I really liked my makeup. I didn't even draw it in the drawing. That's how much I was paying attention. I didn't even draw. I just drew myself like several times. Honestly, the color is the last thing you should be looking at. So I don't blame myself. I was just kidding around, but like let's put that there and that there. That there, that there. Like I'm drawing in black. And that's a white scribble. So in order for me to put this in there, I would need to draw shading in reverse around the scribble, and ain't nobody got time for that. I need to get a like a whiteout pencil or something. And let's do the same thing over here. I didn't do there's so much, like there's shading over here that I want to do, and I want the nose to pop out, so I want to shade over here. um it's important to go back on your drawings and be like, nope. If I had a red pen, I would circle this and I would be like, that's supposed to be darker over here, this is supposed to be rounded out, your eyelashes are supposed to be in there. um the mode that I'm looking at the picture in now is after I've been drawing for another like 10 or 15 minutes. So the mode I'm seeing the world through the eyes of a better artist. So when I go back to the other drawing, it's so easy to see and be like, okay, I have no shadow in my forehead at all. Um, I didn't do anything to connect the neck. I've got shadows down here. I didn't like it's not a matter of like what you did and what you didn't. It's just a matter of learning when you feel like I know that I'm in the drawing mode, so I can draw really quickly and efficiently and not worry about it. And that is a good time to work. And if you're not in that mode and it's not happening, maybe take a break. You know, maybe you need to eat something or drink some tea or I don't know, take a nap. So yeah, maybe you need to go to the bathroom. If something's on your mind, drawing is almost impossible. If you're thinking about like, oh my God, I need my stimulus check, and what did the Republicans do, and I have to walk my dog after this, and then I've got to practice piano and my grocery list, the drawing's not going to happen. So again, clear your mind, like do a little, like maybe light a candle, do what you can to set the conditions, calm yourself down. Um, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I always love talking with you guys. Still waiting for someone to drop a comment and tell me about themselves because as much as I talk about myself, I would love to like start a little bit of a conversation with you guys. I'm having fun with this while I'm talking. So like what I have a list of things that I want to do with my videos. But I also know that I'm not the only one here. Um, this is a co-cooperative environment, and I come up with the best stuff in conjunction with other people, you know? So, yeah. Do you want to see the thistle? Hello, thistle. Still growing. Um, I want it to be spring. I want summer. I want there to be sunlight. As good as the seedlings, I've been doing everything that I can to take care of them and make sure that they're alive. Um, Plants just are, they're not designed to grow. Plants are designed to grow in specific environment and they do very well outside if everything is provided for them. Taking them inside is difficult because you have to worry about like recreating an entire like bubble of like temperature and humidity and light and air movement, and there's got to be nutrients and there's got to be like beneficial organisms. Don't you guys just love rambling about nothing? Blah 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 blah. I feel like the longer I make my videos, the more chances that people just like skip around and watch it. But we don't want to just make garbage content. We're still doing things here. So I still want you guys to practice. That's really what this is about. I'm doing it too, as you can see. I'm not exactly happy with all of my drawings. I don't think anyone will ever, I mean, unless you're one of those people. But one of the defining characteristics of the art majors in LaGuardia and most people that I know who do creative work is just like not being happy with everything that you do. So it takes hard work and it takes practice. So maybe it takes seeing that. Like maybe if someone were to see that I put out 100 videos of myself drawing badly, you don't have to watch every single one, but knowing that they're there would be inspiring for you to make your 100 bad practices, and then you'll get good by seeing the improvement that people make when they show what they're doing. So yeah, um, peace to the world, joy to the world. Um, Tip your neighbor. I'm kidding. I'm just making stuff up. Don't forget to like and subscribe and donate to a local cause that you like. Say goodbye to Narnia. Bye, it's 100 Acre. Bye, 100 Acres. You're my favorite tree. Um, it's the easiest time to become partner with YouTube, so posting as much content and growing your own channel is very important. So I'm encouraging everyone to post their own stuff, and then I can like and follow and subscribe you guys and comment on your videos, and then we can all just do this weird new reality that is partly online as well. So, how do we like to end our videos? Oh no, where is it? I threw it away. I threw it away. I want to get my other my thing. I threw it away, and I don't know how to get it back on screen. I usually do the thing where I say bye to both cameras. Bye, 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 bye. If you like the makeup, I rubbed off all of my makeup. That's so funny. If you like the eyeliner, if you like the nails, if you like the drawing, even how funny and bad they are, tell me how ugly they are and how I'm a bad artist and why am I a teacher if I can't even draw myself. Just kidding. I showed you in the notebook. I can draw. I can. Uh, if you go check out my other videos. I talked about a lot of the stuff in today about stuff that we've done in past videos, and join us next time for the unboxing video that I'm doing right now after this. So, bye, 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 bye.